Together might feature the best usage of a Spice Girls song, Two Become One. Brilliant. I've been really excited to check out Together ever since it premiered at Sundance earlier this year, with Dave Franco and Alison Brie, a real-life couple, playing a couple who slowly start to become attached to one another. There is a really interesting idea there and something to really chew on in terms of the concept of attachment in relationships and being so attached that you can't really live without them. I was sold from there. And this is a really good and insightful look at attachment in relationships, both literally and figuratively. It has a lot of fun with this concept, and it also offers for some good commentary on it. I think where the movie kind of falls back a little bit, which I'll just start with, is that it gets trapped in trying to be this multi-genre package. It is part comedy, part romance, part horror movie. And I think it works best when it is the latter. For me, I thought being a romance and horror movie, that's what I thought was the better parts about it. Not to say that I don't like comedy sprinkled in my movie. I think there were just a couple bits that I would have taken out. I thought, tone back the comedy a little bit. Just because by the end of it, you get a product that kind of just feels tonally a bit all over the place at times, but in the back half, it really leans into the unsettling aspect of it, which I liked. In terms of the horror, the jump scares are predictable. I wasn't overly in love with what they did there. But let's talk about one of the best parts about the movie. That is the chemistry between Alison Brie and Dave Franco. A real-life couple, who would have thought they would have great chemistry on screen? They are one of the power couples in Hollywood, I'd say. They're one of my favorite couples. I think that I really like both of them individually and together. They are really good. There's one scene of intimacy set in a bathroom that I will continue to be thinking about. Let's just say it's going to be hard to forget that scene and how just squirmish it made me feel. And there are a lot of moments in this movie where I was like, oh, that's really creepy and that's unsettling and it gets underneath your skin, literally. The practical effects are gnarly. There's a really just strong balance of practical and visual effects work. And the visual effects are really good for a movie that has such a small budget. I saw a Q&A of this movie, and they were talking about how they filmed it in 21 days, and the director did over, I believe, 150 shots, worked on himself in post of the visual effects work, as he has a background in visual effects. Massive props there. The fact that, honestly, they did so much on a restricted schedule and budget, it's really impressive. I thought the movie got better as it went along. I started to get more and more invested. I really started to enjoy it more. I think that the start is a little bit rocky. It really just brings a whole new meaning to the word together and what it means to be so attached to someone that you literally can't live without them. There's a really cool scene in a shower with Dave Franco that I was like, oh shit. Probably the best sequence in the movie is in a hallway where, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but it is really just like, ugh. That's where the sound design really comes in and plays. Similar to The Substance last year, it's just like, ugh. So yes, it's a body horror movie, and while I didn't think that the scares were overly effective, none of them really got to me. I knew where they were going with it. And then by the time you get to the ending, I really dug it. I thought it was great, and I honestly didn't really think it was going to go there, and it did, and I really just applaud it for that. This is getting really picky, but I would have liked it to end at one specific shot. I thought that would have been one of the best final shots. By the time you get to the end of the year, probably would have been one of my favorite, if not my favorites. But then it goes on a little bit longer to tie up a loose end, which I would have probably been complaining about had they not have. I liked it. I wanted them to end here, but also they were tying up something else, so I understand why they ended it where they ended it. I had a very fun time with Together. I think that it brings you on this wild ride, and by the time you get to the end of it, you're like, damn, I was really surprised that they went there. It's creepy, it's unsettling, has a little bit too much comedy, tone it back a little bit. I probably would have been a little bit more overall just impressed with the movie as a whole. Dave Franco and Alison Brie bringing their A game as a couple who just figure out that they can't live without one another. I want it to be an insightful look at attachment and not being able to live without your partner in a relationship. And it was an insightful story that left me really just having a good time. I'm gonna give Together a B, and I would recommend seeing this one in the theater. It's being hailed as the perfect date night movie, which I think is an appropriate thing to call it because it has a little bit of everything, although it probably doesn't need a little bit of everything, a little bit too much comedy. But I hope you enjoyed this movie. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought of it. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben. People call me Meteor, and I'll see you guys in the next one.